Hi, thank you for stopping by. My name is Natalie. My channel is all about health, wellness, and sustainability. I drop videos every Mondays, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you're into that sort of thing. Today we're talking about lupus and cognitive changes, or lupus and mental health. When I talk about lupus on this channel, I often talk about how to manage it with regards to our bodies and what our bodies go through. But today I wanted to specifically talk about what happens to us with our mental health and our emotional well-being when living with lupus. For those of you who are new to this channel, I contracted lupus about 3 years ago, and it drastically changed my life, like it probably did yours if you have lupus as well. And the main reason for that is because lupus, number one, is an invisible illness, because on the outside, everything looks the same, which makes you kind of an enigma now to the people who knew you, because suddenly they're looking at you and you look the same, but you're behaving very differently, which is very confusing for them. So that's the first thing. So it just kind of changes your environment. So therefore your social dynamics change. And then secondly, lupus itself, because it's an autoimmune disease, it literally affects every part of your body. Lupus could cause you to have a headache the same way it could cause you to have kidney disease. Do you know what I mean? It's not just secluded in just one area. Because it can affect every part of your body, and because it is an autoimmune disease, there's a whole lot of unpredictability that comes with your new lifestyle. And that in and of itself is overwhelming. So you have this presentation that's still normal, quote unquote, because you look the same and people see you as being the same. But then internally, you're having all these changes that drastically change your reality, your experience, and how you feel, which affects how you behave. And it's just this kind of continuous loop of, illness, but no real proof to your environment that you're actually experiencing anything meaningful. So that in of itself can be very challenging, because it's unlike anything else, that I have ever experienced. 1.5 million people in the US have lupus, and about 90% of those people report cognitive changes after living with the disease. There are lots of reasons for that. Today I wanted to talk about some of those. The main issues that people report are issues related to grief, having to grieve their old life, fear about the future, increased anxiety, depression, issues with sleep, as well as issues with focus and concentration. And those are not uncommon symptoms. I have experienced some of those symptoms at different points in my illness. And I am making this video because I want to normalize conversations around changes in mental health when you're living with a chronic illness. It is almost impossible to expect life with a chronic illness to not be something that throws you off completely, because it literally changes everything. So it's quite normal to experience all of these emotions if you're living with lupus or any other chronic disease that is autoimmune based and that doesn't have a cure. For starters, you're going to be dealing with body changes. So all of a sudden you could be experiencing rashes, weight gain from the medications that you're taking. I've made a video not long ago talking about having steroid-induced acne, which came from the steroids that I was taking. So all of a sudden you're, 30 pounds heavier and you have a face full of acne when you haven't had acne since you were 12 years old. Issues with hair loss, your nails getting brittle. All of these body changes that happen spontaneously can affect your self-esteem, because most of us adults are used to looking a certain way. So when your body starts drastically changing overnight, it's not something that most adults go, yay, let's try this on for a while. Because most of us have had our experimental body changes phase in our teenage years, and by now we kind of know what works for us. Our closet is pretty set, so we're not really trying to experiment with different sizes of clothes and different looks, but the disease will make you have to be flexible with that, which is not easy. In addition to that, you also have issues with dealing with body symptoms that come from the disease itself. So You're having fatigue, you're having nausea, you're having physical pain, muscle aches. You're having issues with rheumatoids, if you also have issues with rheumatoids, which typically comes with other autoimmune diseases. So you're freezing all the time, headaches, and basically living with chronic pain. So that's also going on with your body, which is really frustrating. So you're either feeling okay or you're feeling bad. It's kind of like the way that it goes, but your body's never gonna feel amazing. So with that comes a certain level of social isolation because your energy level is now decreased. Before COVID and before lupus, all of us were a lot more social. So living with lupus in the age of COVID, when people with autoimmune tend to be more at risk of contracting lupus and more at risk of having, long-term difficulties from getting lupus, it creates another layer of barrier, social barrier, that makes it harder for you to connect with people in the physical sense. So that leaves you further socially isolated, in addition to already feeling isolated from experiencing all these symptoms that nobody can see or that nobody understands, because most people don't know what lupus is. And then on top of that, you're having all of these emotional changes that are rooted in anxiety about the future, because now your life is completely different. You don't know what your life is going to look like 10 years from now, 20 years from now. It's possible that before lupus you would have had a pretty clear idea about that, but now everything is kind of up in the air. Now life is unpredictable. Every day is a different day. You just don't know what to expect. You don't know what you're going to get. Tomorrow you might wake up, you might feel good. The next day you might wake up, you might not be able to get out of bed. No one knows. You're just vibing. It's just vibes. There's no clear direction here. So with that, you're just in general less available to friends and family, and they may not necessarily understand, because again, to them you look the same, you sound the same, you're the same person, but to you, you're not the same, and you know that you don't have it in you to give what you were giving before you got lupus. So your social system not fully understanding what you're going through can also cause some different emotional changes in you, because suddenly that's an added layer of isolation, because you're going through something that no one else can relate to and they just simply don't get it. And then there's activity limitation. For me personally, before I contracted lupus, I was a very active person and I loved being active. I've always been someone that had a lot of energy, just a little bit on the restless side, just likes to stay busy. I used to be one of those crazy people that was taking a 5 a.m. cycling class in my local gym, like 3 days a week, because I loved it. I love cycling. I used to go after work. I used to go before work. That was my jam. You'll get in there, get on your bike, the music is going, the instructor is pumping you up, and it's just thinking about it now, it excites me. It was just so much fun. I used to get so much joy from that. I was in the gym 6 days a week before lupus. I even ran a 5K once just to challenge myself, to push myself, to see if I could do it, because I hate running. So I was one of those people, if I find something that I hate, I want to do more of it because I like to overcome challenges. That's my personality type. To go from that, like gym rat life, active life, really into physical fitness, eating healthy and all of that, to this like reduced energy level life that I'm living now, it's been drastic, let me tell you. To go from that to days when all I can do is literally walk from my bedroom to the living room so I can lay on the couch and have the computer on my lap to work and not have to move anything else, has been very, very tough emotionally to deal with. That is really depressing. It's not easy to just accept that. A lot of people experience mood swings, personality changes, sadness, anxiety, depression, grief. All of that is very common because it is a lot to lose, and it's a lot to lose very quickly. Lupus is teaching me to find new ways to relieve stress, find new ways to enjoy life. I've had to do things differently to be able to survive. I've had to channel my anxiety into creativity. So I became more creative because of lupus, because I couldn't just sit with the anxiety. I just couldn't. It was killing me. I was already someone that was naturally on the anxious side. I was born anxious. That's what this restlessness is about. It runs in my family, but for the most part, anxiety has actually helped me be successful in life. It's helped me thrive. In every environment that I've been in since I was a kid, it's helped me come out on top. Going through school, I was always graduating at the top of my class because of anxiety. Same with work. I would always get easily promoted for those reasons because of anxiety. So anxiety has always been my friend, where we work together, take a little, give a little, and we partner together and we make greatness happen. But since lupus, it hasn't quite been my friend. It's been beating me down more than it's been helping me. I've increased my routine around my self-care, my spirituality, my maintaining of my mental health. I meditate regularly. I've increased my self-awareness, so I have a good understanding of what I need and what I don't need. I'm a lot more honest with myself about what my limitations are than I was before. I prioritize my self-care. I have a strong support system. I've also joined a lupus group in addition to my personal support system, which allows me to be around people who get what I'm going through, because your support system may be there for you because they love you, but if they don't fully understand what you're going through, they may not be able to give you some of those other aspects of support that you need and that we all need to be able to thrive. We all want to feel understood whenever we're going through something like that, and someone else who's going through something like that is going to be the best person who can understand you. I have several doctors that I see regularly to make sure that I'm taking care of myself. I also have a therapist that I see regularly to make sure that I am taking care of my mental health. I try to exercise every day. On days when I have the energy, I go. If I don't have it, I don't have it, and that's okay. But I still make that a priority. And of course, I eat healthy, I drink a lot of water, and I rest when I need to. So these are some of the things that I've had to do to make sure that I am setting myself up for success with managing this, illness for many years to come. What about you? How are you dealing with the cognitive changes, the mental health changes that you've noticed? And what are some of the things that you are doing that help you? I think it's really important that we have these conversations and that we, put the focus on taking care of our mental health as much as we do our physical health, because both are intertwined. If your body's not feeling good most of the time, your mental health is not going to be great. So it's important to prioritize that so that you're not neglecting your own needs. Because at the end of the day, this is your life and this is your body, and only you know what your body is going through. And if you're not prioritizing taking care of your body in the best way that you can, nobody's going to come and do it for you. They're just not. Especially if to them you look the same and they don't think you need anything, they're absolutely are not going to be doing any of that for you. So you have to take it upon yourself to advocate for your needs and make sure that you are sensitive to what it is that you need, so that you can put yourself in the best position to be able to heal and also manage the symptoms that lupus bring every day. So that's basically it. That's my little conversation about lupus and mental health. If you have any questions about anything that I shared, feel free to leave them in the comment box below. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you. If you like this kind of content, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Remember, I drop videos every Mondays on health, wellness, and sustainability. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for that kind of content. If you want to check out any of my sustainable fashion pieces, you can do so at styledunder.com. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Bye-bye!